Also, I'm sure people are wondering, we have a new emote today. A couple of people have been using it. We have the fanfare emotes, as we've kind of become known for it, and we had a couple of people request it. Because I don't know if you've noticed, every single time we intro a player, we have fanfare. So
Yeah,
now we can
find out.
Yeah, go for it.
CranKy for fanfare. Pretty sick. And speaking of which, here we are now. On to Everdream LE Ideally Edle. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We do in fact have our Reds coming out all the way from the Jewel of India. He is the man of many platypuses, the shark himself, representing Downfall Gaming. We have Demi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the New Zealand Zerg player representing Team Mindfreak. It is MightyKiwi.
And I was gonna double check who won last week, Light, but the ESL side is down, so yeah. I remember Demi was in the finals against Caesar. I don't remember who won.
It was Caesar, I believe, who won. And I don't know if last week Caesar was in the finals. I don't know if Caesar was in the finals or it was Demi versus Miyamika in the finals.
No, Demi versus Miyamika was a while ago. Demi versus Caesar was last week.
There you go. Yeah. I think I recall that. Like, we were on the Demi. We were following Demi the entire tournament. And yeah, in the end, Caesar did take it all the way to the ace match and won a 3-2.
Ah! Alright, his third Dare Cup, if you will, or Cup of Dare.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I wanted to follow MightyKiwi, as I don't know if we're gonna have much time to talk about it, but unfortunately he didn't play in any of the DreamHack qualifiers. He wasn't a part of DreamHack C or OCE at all, and it was kind of surprising to see. I remember I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And of course he did tweet later on. He moved houses.
Oh no!
And it lined up with
the worst possible. Oh no!
Yeah. So unfortunately, it lined up on that weekend for the qualifiers, and he just couldn't play.
That's that's a big rip.
Yeah,
I've ever heard one. But he is back here. He is still competing in online events, and particularly in ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare. MightyKiwi hasn't won one yet, but he has really he's really made a name for himself in these events.
We were talking about it when he first came back. Like, he had been on a hiatus for a number of years. He had basically retired, and then he recently, this year, he came back to the game, started to compete again. He took up that mantle as the best player in New Zealand, and he gets a queen.
Yeah, that's a confirmation of that. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Demi is doing Demi things, trying to deny or delay this third base for as much as he can. Does get a cancel. I got a little bit worried there from MightyKiwi. These links are starting to go in, and a lot of okay, there is a couple of links here for defense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, MightyKiwi didn't have any banelings, and even though he got a nice queen snipe, he did lose a third base for it. So that was definitely rough there for MightyKiwi. Nicely done there for Demi. He was able to find an opportunity. He took it, and yeah, actually Demi, he's still on 2 bases.
Yeah, which is a little bit surprising coming out of Demi. Typically, you see when he moves out with his lings is when he goes for that third base. But I think he has realized that's a lot of lings you got there, buddy. So he is going to be playing it a bit more defensively here. This queen does not go down, and this is the Lingbane war.
Oh god.
That's a lot of banelings coming out of MightyKiwi Light. I don't know if you noticed.
That's
he is kind of all in right now. So many explosions coming in. These queens are surprisingly still alive.
Yeah.
Much of anything.
That was so close to going down, and it would have been so nice for MightyKiwi to pick them off. But again, there wasn't much of a follow-up. He made so many banelings, but he didn't really have too many lings to support them, and they immediately went down to the banes of Demi.
Yeah, I would say because he had a lot of banelings, he didn't have a lot of links.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things you have to try and find a nice balance of in ZvZ, and because of that, Demi does hold. But it is important to mind that MightyKiwi, he did take his third base behind this, and Demi is still contained.
Yeah, exactly. And MightyKiwi is not letting this up. He's going for round 2 pretty quick. MightyKiwi does not need to trade really well or kill a single link here, so long as he can keep Demi back on 2 bases, or contain Demi.
Yeah, he just has to make sure he doesn't die to the follow-up. Of course, Demi, he already has a Roach Horn. He's already working on his +1 range upgrade as well. MightyKiwi, he's... he's not me and Micah. Let's calm down, all right? But yeah, like MightyKiwi has to be careful not to be caught with, like, you know, just caught completely unawares and be behind in tech once roaches come out.
That he definitely does not. There is that old saying though, where if you have a lot of lings, it doesn't matter how many roaches your opponent gets, you know, provided you're able to get a surround.
Yeah, surround and also melee upgrades help a lot with that, but still no evos for me and for MightyKiwi. And look what he's getting behind in his natural.
Alrighty then, yeah. MightyKiwi just gonna be skipping the Roach tech entirely and going straight for Mutalisk. I do actually like this quite a bit, considering how... Oh no, don't pull a Mio Micah!
Oh, no,
that's why you took him from Mio Micah, like...
Exactly.
Trade here with the links, but it cannot be... MightyKiwi cannot take as many risks now, considering how many links he's lost. And
this
how
is so dangerous. Like, the roaches for Demi are already pushing out across the map. Mutalisk are not going to be ready for this. Miyamaka, he's panic. MightyKiwi, he's throwing down fires. And they may finish up just in time for this, but
the links do come in and they are trying to flank. Demi's Roach army is split up at the moment, so there is an opportunity here for MightyKiwi to try to pick off these small numbers of roaches, and he is doing that. Nicely done. But now the reinforcements are coming in. These banelings actually kind of wasting themselves here. Oh, the Ravager does try to make it through. And this is getting pretty rough right now for our Kiwi Zerg player.
Yeah, pure Ling Bane against this. Oh, it looks like he gets another nice round.
Not too bad. Yeah, gets us around, makes sure that these roaches are within spine and crawler range. But now the Lings of MightyKiwi have been taken out. Look at the army supply difference. And these Mutalisks are about to pop out. But 4 Mutalisks versus everything that Demi's got here, not gonna make too much of a difference. Give it a 9 behind this, just to get reinforcements here quicker.
This is the risk you take if you skip roaches. If you go right into Spire, then you have to make sure that you can keep your opponent busy on the other side of the map. Otherwise, roaches just march across and just end you, and that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Yeah, but nothing shoots up, like.
That's true, nothing does shoot up. These 4 Mutalisks have a lot of work to do. 20 drones went down, and oh boy.
Have been softened up quite a bit by those banelings, and now the roaches have been dealt with. 21 drones have been taken out right now for MightyKiwi. If he wasn't all in before, he's absolutely all in now, and Demi's looking to end this.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get this third base as well. Again, like MightyKiwi, eventually he can deal with this, but it's all about how much damage is he going to take before that happens.
Possibly way too much. Good snipe here from Demi, and he backs away. Does not want to overstay his welcome.
Oh my god.
Demi is really far ahead right now. He does need to throw down a couple of spores. Let me double check. Yeah, he doesn't
and I love this. Nidus is on the way. All these queens are going to be used offensively. Like, as soon as the Mutalisks get over to this side of the map, he's just going to Nidus across and just... Oh my god. And I would love it if he takes a couple of drones as well.
Yeah. If he takes a couple of drones, it's just built spores. Yes, in MightyKiwi's base, that would be amazing. And these spores are coming in, and they're trying to get some damage done. Again, Demi doesn't have any spores, and they did get sniped, but he is making very good use of these queens. A nice sort of elastic defense here.
Yeah, definitely. We're just waiting, anticipating when that Nidus will go down, and there it is in the main base. There's no vision.
I'm waiting for the drones to pop out, light.
Make it happen, Demi. Send in drones. Oh god, and even with the amount of queens he has, I don't know if there's just enough Mutalisks to deal with this.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. There's a lot of energy on these queens as well. So much transfuse potential, and MightyKiwi doesn't have any AoE. GG's called. And Demi gonna be taking game number 1.
Damn.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. GG. Well played. Demi's up 1-0 in this best of 3. He's asking for a small break. And yeah, this will finally give us a little bit of time to talk about, the players, the tournament itself. I was very surprised Probe actually didn't sign up today.
Yeah, he's basically the player who signed up for the most amount of ESL Dare Cups. Well, I mean, tied with Mika and not Seether, Mika and wait, yeah, I think Demi as well.
Demi, yeah.
And even when he had a match coming up, he would still play in. He would still play in Dare Cup. Just didn't reveal too much of his builds. But today he's taking a bit of a break, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you look at social media, Probe, he did have his exams today, his uni exams.
Well, okay, never mind. That's the answer. Look, I don't check Twitter.
Yeah. So he did finish them, but I guess he, it took a lot out of him. He opted not to play tonight, even though he did go through it. And yeah, hopefully he's doing well.
That's the whole.
Yeah, it's understandable to say the least. But everyone else signed up and check in. It's nice to see Ranger. He's playing tonight as well.
Yeah, did manage to come back in. Apparently, it seems that Seether beat Ranger 1-0. Seems will be making it to semifinals. Unfortunately, the ESL website is down at the moment. They have been having a couple of server issues for the past couple of days, but thankfully we do have a challenge bracket.
Ooh, that we do, and the lobby has been made. We're just getting set up here. Demi has returned, and yeah, it's gonna be on Death Aura.
Or just Death, according to a lot of bros. No, MightyKiwi with the lobby bug.
I also wanted to mention, because there were people asking about the emotes, about our logo. I know Kuro did respond, but yeah, shout out to Last Dance. Like we mentioned the trumpet. We didn't get to shout out who made it. Last Dance, of course, he's amazing. He's been around for a long time. He's been a sub for a long time. And he's kind enough to kind of make fan art, I guess. It's kind of a way to put it. I say fan art. We kind of commissioned a lot from him. He's the guy who made the duct tape image.
Not quite yet, but soon.
We actually should make that an emote. I love it. It's so good, right? Like, it's so cute.
It's such a good like worried sort of emote.
It's very fitting. But he also made the graphics or the overlays for the Oceanic Pond League, OPL, which we ran last year. He made... Yeah, he did the stuff for the podcast. I don't know if you've seen the overlays used in the podcast or new ones, and he made that as well.
That he did. He is Duck Ross.
Yeah. On our Discord server, he is Duck Ross. He's from New Zealand. He's a fan from New Zealand, and we really do appreciate it. He used to be a lot more active, but now he's a dad now. He's
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't use Twitter that often, but I did see like a couple of things about his about his kid.
Yeah. So he's obviously, he has a family that he does comes first. But yeah.
Kiwi Ross, my mistake.
Kiwi Ross, that's it.
Look, ducks and kiwis.
And when it comes to our logo, which is our duck as well as CranKy Ducklings and everything, of course that was all done by Zook. I don't know if people are familiar with Zook, but he was kind of the head. He was the video editor. He managed social media. He did all of these things for Total Biscuit back in the day. He was also involved in Axiom as well. Of course, when years ago when we were first thinking about getting our logo, Zook was the first person that popped into mind when it comes to he should be the person to make our logo. It just makes sense.
Exactly. And he ended up doing a really good job there. There were a couple of things that people aren't privy to. There were a couple of beta versions of the logo. Is that what it's called? Drafts, rough drafts that
Uh,
that were
I
like,
believe I
but
believe
in the end,
they're.
we worked. He was patient with us when we worked things out.
Yeah, I believe they may be in our sub channel on Discord. Like if you look way back, there may be like early like black and white drafts. Of course, originally the duck was a lot more angry, was very cranky. Huh?
Yeah. Hence the name, yeah. So if you too would like to have a look at these, well, actually, I cannot make a promise that they're still in there. But, you know, sub to the Twitch channel at tier 1 sub at 199, was it? Or was it 299? Something like that. But speaking of 99s, that is what we're on here. On Death Aura. The aura of death, usually radiation. In the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we do in fact have our Reds coming down all the way from the land of India. He is the shark himself, looking to take another map win here to make it to the semifinals, if I do recall correctly. He is representing Downfall Gaming, Demi.
You all right? And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, currently down 0-1 in this best of 3, going for a 12 pool, we have the New Zealand Zerg player representing Team Mindfreak. It is MightyKiwi.
Your Captain Kiwi for the evening.
Indeed, and yeah, we'll see what Demi can do. We'll see how he can defend against this, if it's better or worse than Vivid. As if you recall, I think Vivid ended up losing 9 drones.
Yeah, something like that. He did lose quite a number of drones there, but managed to hold in the end, which bought him a reprieve. He actually could have gotten back in that game, but unfortunately made a couple of miscalculations.
Yeah, just overextended a little bit. And here we go, Demi. He is pulling the drones, and we'll see how good his drone drill. Oh,
that is one thing that I remember Demi for being, is typically pretty good at drone drilling. Look at that. I'm not sure if he knew that there were reinforcements coming in or not, but he did manage to go catch a couple of them off guard. Might be overextending with his drones, though. He is mostly just buying time for these links to pop out.
yeah.
And now that they're here, MightyKiwi is going to have to think twice before moving in.
Yeah, exactly, and they're here just for support for the Lings until the Queen pops out. And once the Queen pops out, then he can just go back to mining. There we go. Like
Doesn't even have to go back to the main. He's got a base here.
Didn't even lose a drone.
Wow. He did lose a lot of mining time, but you know, that's a bit of a trade-off there. These Lings are starting to go in. Thankfully, the Queen for the support did help out a lot. There was also a little bit of a split there for MightyKiwi's Lings, which Demi was able to take full advantage of.
Yeah, and just like that, Demi, he just lost a handful of Lings. How many? He lost 5 Lings to MightyKiwi's 12.
Jeez.
And if you're out there, if you're a Zerg player, if you're wondering how to hold a 12 pool, if you go hatch gas pool, then there you go, Demi. Oh, that was such a nice hold. He barely lost anything. That was so clean.
It really was. I'm not much to add behind that. I'm just thinking back to like the Evo wall idea, but you know, that's if you didn't go for hatch gas pool. You know, that's if you're just on one base.
Yeah, well, that's if there's a drone pool as well, right? Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Different circumstances.
Yeah, definitely. Demi, I would say, of course, he's ahead right now. He's ahead in workers. He's getting a 3rd base as well. Now it's on MightyKiwi to do something about this. Whether it's, you know, we've seen him go Spire pretty often. Is he going to try and go 2-base Spire again? Is he going to try and?
Gas is being thrown down light. That's another 2. Are we going to see a 3rd base light? We do already see the lair coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just mentioning it offhand, but I guess he's doing it. This looks like 2-base Spire.
Light, I got a question for you. Does every Zerg player in the ZvZ, when they spawn Southside on Death Aura, are they like contractually obliged to do this?
It may just be a C thing. It may just.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, we'll see. We have a bunch of links coming for Demi, but is the wall tight? Is the wall a wall?
The wall is a wall, and it is packed down tight. These queens do have quite a number of transfuses on them, but they are running out of energy. The highest energy queen is right in the front, and there we have it. A lot of them are starting to rapidly lose health. Demi is sort of bashing his head against the wall here.
He's gonna push through.
He's starting to bleed out a good amount of these Zerglings, but he does manage to make it on through, and now he gets us around.
Oh my god, 4 queens are gonna go down.
That's a lot of damage, Light.
That's a lot of queens, and oh my god, he gets a full scout off as well. The link's going to the main base, and he's able to see the lair. He sees all the gases. He sees everything he needs to see.
Yeah, well, he doesn't see a spire yet, although that's part of what's included.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the point, right? Like MightyKiwi, he went for this build. Like it can look like 2-base Muta, but Demi, he confirms he sees all the roaches coming out. He knows that it is a roach push that he was going for, and oh my god, so much damage was done already.
That it really has. Demi is just swinging in terms of that attacker defender dynamic. He is just knows what he has to do right now and is focused entirely on the defense. He's grouping up his roaches right where, you know, he can maximize their effectiveness. Even going for a little bit of surround here on these lings.
Yeah, and now Demi, he's also got his own roaches on the way. He's actually ahead in upgrades, like +1 range. Will finish up quite shortly as well. He's behind when it comes to roach speed, so maybe MightyKiwi can do something with that. He will have a lot more kiting potential, a lot more reinforcement potential, but yeah, again, like we can see in the supplies, like he's very much so behind.
Yeah, he has a window of about 40 seconds, I want to say, where he can really try to go in and punish Demi. But at the same time, Demi just has a lot of more army supply. Eventually, you reach a point where you cannot kite.
Yeah. Eventually, there's just too much army there, and there's just the kiting just doesn't.
Land.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. But MightyKiwi, you know, he's going for a second Evo. He's trying to catch up on upgrades and maybe even try and get ahead. But to do that, he does need time. He does need a lot of time. And time, he's in China. He's not here.
Yeah. Is he in China or is he in Korea? I don't remember.
I don't know. Oh, God.
I vaguely remember that he was in the Unity house.
That was years ago now. Yeah.
Not start of the year, but I could be wrong. All right, Demi's starting to really push on out. His upgrades are done. He has a much larger roach supply, and yeah, now they both have Galauer Constitution. This is going to come down so much for MightyKiwi with the positioning, but Demi is not allowing that to happen. He is breaking on in every single roach, able to fire on every single unit of MightyKiwi, and this is looking like it's going to be it. MightyKiwi. Yeah, might just be falling. GG is called. Demi going to be securing a spot in the semifinals.
GG, and yeah, he is there who will be facing the winner of Starduck versus Rudamok, as it looks like the ESL website is back up.